Welcome to Just John and April, the relationship podcast, your place for life, love, and laughs. In today's episode, it's not all that bad.
True.
And the word of the day. Hey, babe.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
That's it? I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I'm excited about life, and I'm enjoying things, and things are going well. Everything's great now, I think. Had a good bike ride today.
So good.
Oh,
I just love our bike rides.
Yeah,
you got to
too.
get out, you know?
You do.
And to have something that you can just kind of be by yourself, but with just you or somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Where you can think and just...
You mean by yourself because I'm leaving you in the dust? Is that what you mean?
I can't say you're not leaving me in the dust.
You are spending a lot of time by yourself until I wait for you
Look,
at Sam's Club.
Actually, the issue is, even though my thumb's out of the splint, I can't use this side of my hand to change those gears, so I stay on the hardest one.
Listen,
so, you know.
Listen.
I mean, if you're on the hardest
is
one.
It's going to be an excuse the rest of our lives.
Seriously, that is my issue. You know that.
Why are we so competitive, though?
Well, all I know is I'm doing good because I'm on the hardest one.
You are.
Because I can't move. I can't change.
Your average speed has been increasing every time that we have ridden, so it's been excellent. You've been doing. I'm very proud of you, actually.
You are leaving me in the dust, but you are my.
Yes.
You're my gauge.
Listen.
I can't have him be out of my sight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when I do that, I push.
Right.
I stand up to get to where I need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Earlier today, twice, I was riding and I was like, oh man, she's probably way back there. I looked right, whoa, shoot, she's right behind me. I was like, okay, that was good. So anyway, good job, babe.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
It's been fun.
I need that encouragement.
Been getting good exercise. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it has.
But a lot's been going on. So y'all, we got you guys really resonated with our last episode.
Yes, I was like,
y'all got some double standards going on in your relationships because
seriously,
we got so much response. And this is the thing. All right, so normally we get people responding on our YouTube channel itself, but when people respond to us by text message and email,
it's like
outside the chat.
I had to just tell y'all, this is serious, and we are dealing with this, and double standards are so high in this house. You know, that kind of thing. You know.
Yes.
But I was glad that people related because I was sitting here thinking, is this just happening here? Like,
I knew it wasn't just us.
I mean, I knew it wasn't,
but I
didn't know it was going to be that big of a response. Right. You know what I'm saying?
One of our girls, Ambry, was doing like a reaction video. She basically videotaped herself with her phone reacting to our episode, a specific part where April was basically giving me the business as usual.
Oh my goodness.
And apparently
I don't give you the business. I just tell the truth. I'm just telling it like it is.
Comment on that, please. Does April give you the business in these episodes or not?
I do not.
Anyway, so bottom line is April was making some point and Ambry was, sitting there doing all this, you know what I'm saying, all in the video.
Thank you, Ambry. I love you.
Hey,
She confirmed what I was saying to be true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that affirmation.
Either way, I got a lot of guys agreeing with me though, so that was good.
Whatevs. The point is, it's happening. The point is, it's happening. We talked about something real that's going on. Not that we don't, but I'm just saying, like, people resonated with that one.
Right.
So, I like when the response is, yes, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And so we might need to come back to it, from a different aspect. But that was a big one.
Yeah.
A lot of people dealing with that.
Thank you for your responses. Thank you for we always love feedback. So if you're thinking about giving us feedback, please do it. It helps us to know what we said actually resonated, but it also helps us with future episodes and knowing what's hitting where and
exactly
stuff.
What y'all want to talk about, because we want you to talk with us.
Exactly.
You know?
We like the dialogue.
We do. Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for that. Glad you guys liked it.
So the reason why when you asked me am I okay, I was like, yeah, I'm good, hanging in there. I'm really a bit disturbed today.
About what?
I'm from Georgia. And so hearing that they're opening tomorrow is really bothering me.
Yeah.
My parents are there, family's there. We have more than just my parents. I mean, so many people I grew up with are there.
Yeah.
And family members, a bunch from your side are there.
Right. My whole mom's side of the family, all the Fields live in Atlanta.
Exactly.
And of course, we just moved from there, so everybody went to church with us all there and stuff like that.
And, we just lost a friend, Kenneth Saunders.
Yes.
And it was devastating.
Yeah. So for me, that's the hardest part about it. It's like, okay, so this disease is obviously something. It's obviously a big deal. And you know it's a big deal, but it's like a big deal in the back of your mind. But then when one of your friends dies or a family member gets it or something like that, like our friend Kenny, it's just much harder. And to know
does something to you.
Yes, to know that he lives in Atlanta and that their state is now talking about opening, it almost feels like they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah, I told my mama she better not go get her hair done.
Right.
Like,
don't do nothing.
I don't care if they, washing your hair with a mop from far away. You are not going to get your hair done because this is ridiculous. And they're telling the beauticians that they need to wear these shields and stuff. And they're like, where are we getting them from? And that's what I'm saying. Who are providing them with what they need?
Right. Who's providing that stuff?
Because this stuff is not, you can't even order this stuff and it get to you.
Right.
You order an irregular mask and you can't get it for 2 months and then they cancel the order in the process.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just really bothered by that. And I just hope that the people of Georgia will say, no, we're not going to do that. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm hoping the same thing. I actually have been hearing from a lot of friends. My golf buddies, 2 of them live in Atlanta. Well, I guess only one lives there now. We all moved. So a bunch of us all live there. One of us was about to move there. The point is, all of us were kind of talking on our text message, and they were basically saying the same thing. They were like, I don't care when they open. There's no way I'm going back out right now. And
Why would you go back out right now?
I think that's most people's attitude, and so I'm hoping that's the prevailing attitude.
And I know that people want to get back to work.
Of course,
I get it.
Of course. I want to get back to regular life too.
I mean, but you can't right now.
Right.
I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, can we look at the other countries that have gone through this and they're past this stage? They can tell us, it's not time yet. Like, I don't know. I'm just bothered by it. I feel like it's only to...
And you're worried about your parents right
now. I am. I don't want them out. I mean, they're not going to be out. My parents ain't doing that. But I'm just saying, I don't want other people to be out that could...
potentially affect your parents.
Right. I mean, and that's really with everybody. I mean, we don't want that happening to anybody.
Right.
But it's just crazy. So I'm like, Lord, please help the people to be like, no, we're protesting. We're not going to.
I think most of the people are going to be like, no. And that's good.
I hope so.
Especially in the Atlanta area. I think it's too densely populated. I think people know they're nervous about going out and doing any of that. I trust their judgment that they're not going to actually go out, even though the state is opening back up. We'll pray that things stay good over there. Yeah. Anyway, so our title is It Ain't All Bad. That's our title.
That's true.
What are we talking about?
It ain't all bad. We're getting, messages from some couples that are like, they have actually revived their marriage through this quarantine.
Right.
And that was one of our challenges. We were like, in the beginning, if you are going through some stuff, maybe this is time to reconcile, work it out, try to figure out where the problems lie and talk about it.
Right.
And we're getting messages from people that are saying that's what they're doing.
Right.
That's what's happening. And their marriage has turned around and they didn't think that their relationship could be where it is right now. And I'm like, wow, this is great. Like,
what's great about it is all we've been talking about is the negative. And the other day we were talking while we were on our walk, you and I think it was yesterday, and I said, you know what? I just realized when we decided to talk about a positive aspect of what's going on during this quarantine, I realized that I've never once thought to myself that anybody's having a positive situation in their relationship. That for everybody, it must have been better before than it is now.
Or that things are coming out that they didn't know before or stuff like that.
But my perspective has all been negative.
But I mean, that's what you think when people are having to be together all the time. Right. I mean, after a while, it's like, okay, you're getting on my nerves. I mean, that's just what you're thinking about. Of course, that's not necessarily the case.
But apparently it's not. Apparently there are several couples. There are a lot of couples out there who are actually reviving their relationship during this time. The good news I'm liking is some people are saying their relationship was sort of like on the rocks, actually going down a path that they didn't like. And this is creating an opportunity for them to actually turn things around. One couple told us every metric in their relationship has gone up. I mean, they're having more
I like that.
They're having more, family time.
Right.
Just all kinds of.
They're talking.
They're talking to each other.
Communicating.
They were communicating before. To me, that's amazing.
That's a big deal.
It is.
That is a big
It's
deal.
huge.
It is.
It's great. It's great news. I'm really happy. Didn't you read an article or something today on your computer about something?
Yes, guys, it's crazy. This couple talked about how playing the video game, I don't know if you know about Animal Crossing, but our kids play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And so it's basically a game where you are little animals.
But you have like your own world.
You have to like create your own. It's like Sims.
It's like Sims, but for
kids
animals.
Or animals, whatever.
Yeah, but for kids. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
The game's not for animals. It's just you're playing. You're an animal.
Well, you're animals.
Our kids are animals. That's okay. That's true.
They definitely sound like animals in this
Oh my goodness.
house. Anyway, so this couple was saying that they play Animal Crossing, and in the game,
and they've been playing with each other more now since the quarantine.
Right.
You know, they've had to do that because they're home alone together.
Exactly. And in the game, like her husband was like dropping off flowers at her house, or what did he do? He built something for her that he actually built for her in real life, a vanity or whatever. He built a vanity for her in real life, and he built a vanity on the game.
Right.
And she cried because he built that when they first got married. And, and I mean, I was just like, that's kind of weird. But then it's like, wow, that's cool. Because she was saying, you know, right now they can't really necessarily show each other. They're not doing a great job showing each other that love in person because they're together all the time.
Right.
So she was saying, but when they play the game, they kind of go into this virtual reality and they're able to show this love that, and I don't know, it sounds like, I don't know if that's real, that's good because it's kind of fake, you know, that's not really real. But I'm like, if that's something that's bringing them together, like when they're doing that, they are like reminiscing about their love when they were younger. Right.
See, that's my point. My point is she is recognizing it as a positive thing for their relationship, that now that they're in this quarantine, things are different, but they figured out a way to be able to still express their love and affection and empathy and stuff like that for each other. So they figured it out. They figured out, and you know what?
What works for them right now. And I'm saying, I just feel like right now, you got to do what's working for you.
You do.
You know,
you do.
If it's that y'all got to be away from each other during the day while you're working, you're in another room, I'm in another room, and we have to just be away from each other and come back at a certain time, then that's what you have to do, because you're not trying to make it so that when you leave, when you get back to regular living, it's a negative, you know? And true. So I was just so glad to hear, man, people are doing what they have to do. They are, you know, coming up with ways to interact with each other in a positive, you know what I'm saying?
And so it ain't all bad. So,
it ain't all bad.
So there's a lot of bad and negative stuff going around with this quarantine, with this coronavirus, but there are people whose relationships are being revived in this situation. That's a great thing. So I'm really happy for them. I hope your relationship is in that kind of situation, because we've been talking a lot about, you know, quarantine divorces and stuff like that. And the fact that divorce rate is higher in China and all this stuff. You know, it's nice to hear a bright spot that some people are having some good things, some positive things going on.
It is.
Now, I wonder if there's something specific about the quarantine that is making that the case. And I think in the case of some of the people we've heard from, if your love language is quality time, and because you each work so much that you never get to see each other, there are times when it's happened to us before where we didn't realize why we're at each other's throats and what it was that was making us constantly fight with each other. And then we started realizing that there were certain aspects of our love language that weren't being filled or met or whatever you want to call it. And because of that, we were sort of running on empty.
Yeah.
And that made the difference. And so I wonder if inadvertently people are recognizing, oh shoot, maybe some of them are actually discovering that their love language was quality time. And they just weren't spending that quality time with each other. And now they have to because of this quarantine. And it's immediately filling them and putting life into their relationship.
Yeah. And like somebody whose words of affirmation, it could be that you're talking more and you're having positive conversations, or you feel listened to now, you know, that kind of thing. It's like this can bring about some good stuff, you know. And so I think we have to look at the positive as much as we can because it's so much negative. I mean, we had to just turn off. Like, we're not even watching the news anymore. I used to be obsessed with it. I was watching it all the time with my husband. John was like, okay, I can't take it no more. You know,
you watched it today for like 20 minutes, but that was very short in comparison to regular.
Because I just want to see like what the president is saying. I mean, you know.
Is there something new that they're saying that's going on? You know, and very often it's not new, but you know, sometimes
just to see, you know, around 6 o'clock, just to see something new, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's bringing me down. Already hearing stuff about people that we know is already enough. You know, so I think if we try to stay positive, you know, think. optimistically.
Yeah, be optimistic.
As much as possible. I mean, as much as you can, you know.
So what does that look like for a person who's a natural pessimist, though? Or most people don't say themselves that they're pessimists. Most people say they're realists.
Because I say I'm a realist.
Right.
I mean, I think I'm optimistic, but I think I'm a realist. I am like.
I don't think you're optimistic.
All right, I want to be optimistic.
You want to be, but you're not.
I'm a realist. I'm not pessimistic.
I don't think you're a pessimist.
No.
Most people say they're realists. I don't believe them. But you actually, I agree. You are a realist. I think you try to look at things as they are.
It's just, this is the way it is. You know, that's my thing.
Right.
Look, this is...
Right.
You know.
Here's what it is.
We ain't got no money.
Right.
You know,
right. Right.
You know.
Right.
I'm not the kind of person who's going to say, oh, the money will come. Yeah, but right now we ain't got none. You know, that's just, like, it's just, that's the reality of it. Not that I don't believe the money will come.
But you're encouraging people now to say the money will come. That's what you're saying. You're saying be an optimist.
Yes.
Be an optimist.
Be an optimist.
Yes.
You know, this will end.
Yes.
It will get better.
It will.
And I think that I do think like that. You know, I can think like that. It will get better. Things that you don't when it comes to that kind of thing.
I don't think you would have had the ability to think like that if you were a pessimist, and you're not.
True.
So I think a pessimist has to be very deliberate about this.
Yes.
And instead of thinking about how bad this is, start thinking about what about this is good. What about this can be a positive for my relationship?
Right.
How can I turn this bad thing into a positive thing? Or how can I just notice the positive? Sometimes the positive is little. Sometimes it's a really little thing.
You have to find it sometimes.
You might have to find it. Yeah. I'm saying that's what you have to do during this quarantine. Now is the time to do it.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
So anyway, hopefully the word of the day will help you. Maybe we should go to that. What is our word of the day?
The word of the day is buoyant.
Buoyant. Wow, that's a very interesting word.
Yeah, so when you think of buoyancy or buoyant, being
something
buoyant,
that's buoyant, what do you think of?
You immediately think of the buoyant buoy that's in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's what you think about.
And
it's floating, it just
floats
bobs.
on top of the water.
I mean, that's what I think about when I think of buoyancy.
Right, yeah.
But
well, what does it actually mean?
Buoyant actually does mean tending to float. We know that.
Of course.
Okay. But it's not easily depressed, cheerful.
Buoyant. I think it's easy during this time to be down and probably a little bit on the depressed side, at least in a bad mood most of the time, because so much around us is going badly. But I think if we try to remain buoyant, just think of yourself instead of sinking down into the water.
Yes,
you're just floating on top, you know,
kind
of bouncing
staying
around,
at the top. Staying at the top as much as possible.
That's right.
Yes,
all the time. Just think of yourself like this all day.
That's right.
Gotta be buoyant, man. And if you do that, I think it's going to affect everything else that you do. And if you start off the day with something positive and let that ride with you the rest of the day, I think it's gonna make a difference.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Be buoyant.
Yeah, buoyancy.
Hope that helps you.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.